Let's now get into a little more complex one, that is on the multi-agent using the ADK kit. So having seen simpler ones, now let's make it a little more complex, called as multiple agent. We initially saw a single response with a single agent. Now we'll try to use multiple agents and see how it works. And that is quite common in the workflows, because after one task complete, a subsequent task can start. So in that case, it's a sequential agent. After one task completes, the next task is going to start, then it is a sequential agent. There could be a parallel agent, which means a multiple task starts and then, yeah, it can be combined to form the next stage. That could be a sequential start of another agent. Getting inputs from two parallel agent and the next subsequent agent starts. That can also happen. So sequential agent, parallel agent, loop agent, meaning it loops through, then it is called the loop agent. The sequential agent, yes, it is something like one agent completes and then the next agent starts. One task completes, the next task, something like that. This is common earlier also in data pipeline activities in Apache Airflow. When one task complete successfully, the next start has to start. In a process of extract, transformation, and loading, the process of extract completes. Once the extract completes, then transformation or loading has to start. So that is a kind of a task activity here. Something similar. One task complete, then the next task will start. That is as far as the sequential agent. So this is basically like start of input, gets the input from the user and starts, and the first task will start and it will work, and then based on the result, the next agent will start working on it and then provides the output. This is the sequential agent and it is called as the workflow agent. We'll see that with an example as well. Yeah, this is what we are going to take it as a example. So this is, as I said, in the data pipeline, something like a development pipeline we are going to see. The first one is the code reviewer agent. The first one, which generates an initial code based on the specification. And again, user, if user wants something to be done, maybe multiplication or whatever it is in Python, it has to do that coding part. Then there is a code reviewer agent. It reviews the generated code for errors, tail issues, adherence, best practice. It receives the output from. So basically, gets the input from the code reviewer agent. Code writer agent, and then it reviews the code, and then the reviewed code is again taken as an input to the code refactor agent, an LLM agent that takes the reviewed code, and if there are any additional input which is set by the code reviewer agent, it will try to incorporate that. That's why, like, improve the quality and address issues. Now this is the syntax to to invoke the sequential agent. So this is just a like code reviewer, code writer, then followed by a reviewer, and then the refactorer agent works. So basically, the three agents which works in a sequential. Any development activity, you have that initially code is written and then could go into a review, and then the review commands are incorporated. That is the stage, third stage as well. That is what we are going to look at that with an example. So this is the code over here I got. Yes, that's a Python program. I import the LLM agent and the sequential agent. As we discussed, the first one is the code writer agent. We given the name, the model. Um, the first one is you are the Python code. That's the instruction, and description writes the initial Python code based on the specification. So basically, it gets the user input and writes the code, and then comes the reviewer agent, which you are an expert Python reviewer. It asks constructive feedback is provided, code to and review criteria is also provided. um, and then finally the refactor agent, your Python code refactoring AI. And then if you look at it, code pipeline agent, sub-agents is code writer. And if you are, that's where, like, if you look at the Apache Airflow or some of the tools, data pipeline tools, you would see that. So you will become much more easier to understand that as well, particularly if you worked in um, the Apache Airflow, where it is called as DAGs, um, acyclic diagram, acyclic graphs. So it goes from one stage to another. Yeah, here it is possible to in workflows. There's a looping agent is also there, but this one is a sequential agent. And finally, yeah, root agent is the code pipeline. So the code is pretty straightforward. It has to sequence through one after the other. So now let's this code I have already moved into my Linux box. So let's see how that executes. So here I am into my Linux box, and the multi-tool agent. I just want to um, uh, agent.py is what the code is, what is there, whatever I discussed. So now let's execute that. Yeah, to execute, yes, you need to go to the main directory. So ADK, okay, before that, ADK run, and then multi-tool agent. Yeah, here it is. It is waiting now. So I'll say write a program to find the prime, just a simple program, prime numbers in the first 100 numbers. A simple program. Um, So yeah, the first agent is called. This will be an input to the next agent. You have the code over here. Um, yeah, in fact, it has done the review part also. Code reviewer correctness, if number the condition with the loop. It gives that. So and after that, um, yeah, let's see how it is for. If you look at the interesting part over here, here is the actual program, which is done by the code review, code writer agent from here, and then the reviewer agent start. It is interesting. It has said that the Steve Erecto, some algorithm it has pointed out, it is significantly more efficient than the current trial division method. So it said, yeah, it has imposed that better use this. And then subsequently, what had happened in the code refactor agent Python, you will find that the it has given that information, and it says it's finding all the prime numbers up to a given. It works iteratively marking as composite. So it all given that, and then it has tried to create that. So that way, instead of here it is the for loop, and here I think it has changed it totally to a different point using the suggested algorithm of the code reviewer agent. So let's this is as far as the prime numbers. Let's try to do it with another example. Write a program to add two numbers, again a simple one, after getting input from the user. So this is what I'm asking. Let's see how it generates. So the first part is over. Okay, in this case, it has not said no major issues has been found. The code reviewer agent has already said there's no no so it is will give the same whatever was done by the initial code writer agent. It will replicate the refactorer agent will replicate because it has not identified any issues. So it will replicate. So that's where it is something like a different, your peer reviewing the code. Instead of that, the agent takes that job and does the review. Not only the review, it incorporates into the code as well and provides you with the output. So that's where, like, the task, instead of uh, two developers working on it, the agent does the work, and that's where it has become. Again, this is a very simple example. You can make it much more complex. Of course, in all this, as far as the AI agents are concerned, it can give you the all the it can even build, maybe it can even build the infrastructure coding, but finally when you implement, that's where there need to be a humanness, or human has to be there, where there is going to be integration between systems, and that's where the challenges happen, and that's where it is always, you can't just rely on AI agent. You still need a human to work on it and ensure that it is working properly. You can always, because it's all, anyway, it's all initial days. Again, it's just about few months it has happened, all the AI agent. As we progress, maybe it can become much more robust as well. But having said that, this is just an example as how the multi agent, and particularly this is a sequential workflow agent. You can have them in parallel, you can have them in loops as well. So I hope you found this useful. Thanks and cheers.